First Episode Podcast.
I
got a question. I just
What?
noticed it for the first time. I've only done this initial intro like 50 times at least. Where did you get the footage of the neighborhood at the very start? Is that from
was
like Google Earth?
Our buddy Jason found that and cut it in. I don't know.
It's like, because there's always snow, and then I remembered filming it in the snow. But I'm like, I didn't film an overhead of the neighborhood.
That'd be
And
amazing.
then we
if
get
you
a
did that.
drone. We have the
I rented a
First
helicopter.
Episode Podcast drone doing its thing out there, taking
For
intro
20
shots.
20,000 in debt from that opening alone, the $20,000 helicopter rental, plus the professional camera crew.
I have a
Yep.
great idea. What
Live
we should
80s
do,
band.
like if our episode ever falls on like a Chinese holiday, we should all dress up in Chinese face and do wacky Chinese things that they would do. I don't know what they like. You can eat a dog. And
Compete with Trump on tariffs.
Yeah,
we'll have an
all-
overhead of like Beijing. Great.
you're at your
You and
friend's
I,
house
Rico, are
petting
going to be
the
in
dog,
Vegas
and
together.
It's like how Alf eats the cat.
Yeah, we can have Rico eat a cat.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in Vegas together, Rico and I. And apologies, by the way, to our audience who was obviously waiting with bated breath for this episode. We were delayed. We decided to just push it back. We're going to do two in a row though. So we'll do this week and next week. So you'll get double bonus.
Well, I had a good plan last week. Yeah, I was in Myrtle Beach for a baseball trip, and I'm like, all right, well, obviously we're gonna go out drinking, but I'll definitely be back in the hotel by 9. And then I'm like, maybe I should just push it back till 10. And I'm like, there's no way in fucking hell I'm getting back to the hotel before 1 a.m.
Obviously, not in Myrtle Beach, which is one of the strip club capitals of the world as well.
That was also a shooting capital because that happened the day after we left.
Oh, the day
nice.
after you left?
Yes.
What did you hand? You hand some kid a gun, and you're like, "Hey,
Yeah. Where are you shooting
follow your dreams."
on your way out of town? Shooting after we left.
No
See you,
comment.
losers.
Rico's like when we pulled out of Afghanistan. He just left a bunch of guns and then got on an airplane.
And he
I'm
goes,
a
there was a
big
shooting.
Afghani sympathizer. People know that. Everyone that fucking guy talking about Afghanistan again. Shut up about Afghani rights.
But no, we're going to be in Vegas together, and we need to film a new intro video at least to mix it up. I think we should film in Vegas a little bit. Maybe I could get a shot of you losing all your money at a craps table. You could get one of me in the pool, just looking fat and old.
I'll just take a candid. Well, you can take a video of me peeing in a trash bucket, and I'll take a candid video of you doing drugs in a hotel casino stall. It'll be great.
Rico definitely peed in the trash can in our hotel room, by the way, last year. Last year, 1 year ago today.
You can't trust those Vegas toilets. I mean,
well, either that or they did it.
You don't know where your pee's going to go on that. Yeah.
We've talked about this. The trash can is next to the toilet filled with urine. It doesn't make any sense.
What does?
Yeah, it's
Not
Vegas.
much.
There wasn't a spot of pee on the floor, though. So if it was me, incredible aim.
Excellent shooting. No double streams. That's because you never have sex, so your piss doesn't ever split into different directions.
Alas.
Is Don frozen for you too? Don, your internet.
Oh, he's moving very slowly.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here giggling. You guys are having a good moment, and I'm enjoying it. It's very nice.
Well, tell us about your Niagara Falls trip. It's Niagara Falls, Frankie Jr. And then I think, Rico, the story about Nate was a Niagara Falls story as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so talk about your trip to Niagara Falls. Then we talk about one of the funnier stories we have from college.
This is actually going to tie in nicely. So my wife and I went on a road trip north to New York. We saw the Finger Lakes, which are lovely. There's lots of wineries there. So we went to some pizza places, went to some wineries.
Okay,
and then
good.
From there,
you're right. There's lots of wineries there. So no, you went to a bunch of pizza places.
I went to the pizza places and wineries, and then back to the pizza places and back to the wineries. And then we went from there to Niagara Falls, which was really cool. You know, if anybody's never been and you think about going, you know, it's nice. You go see some waterfalls. It's pretty cool.
One of your
See
bigger
Canada.
waterfalls. Some say.
Yeah, yeah. Canada's off in the distance doing its thing. You're on America's side doing your thing, only better. And then afterwards, on the way back, we ended up stopping in a little town called State College, Pennsylvania.
Whoa! All right. Wait. You
Yeah.
weren't, but this is not when the power was out for the last 5 days, right? This is a while ago.
This is the day of the power outage. So the power went out when we were there. And I did hear on the way out of town that the power's out from Harrisburg to Pittsburgh and who knows. But yeah, so we went there. But before the power went out, we were able to have a lovely meal at a very high-end restaurant. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's called Primanti Bros.
Oh,
that's dog shit. You go to DP Dough. DP Dough, man. You messed up.
Primanti Brothers used to be a fantastically nice bar. Like
100%.
polished, like it was. You go in there as a
That's
college,
awesome.
you're like, wow, I've really made it in this
Stained
world.
glass, polished brass, all wood. What's it now? Rico?
Amazing.
Tell them what the Primanti Brothers
It's they gutted the nice parts and made it like a sawdust floor with shitty plywood bar in the middle.
all black.
Unbelievable. Like, why would you do this? It was one of the most popular bars there. It was nice as could be, great
was
food. It was
gorgeous.
always packed. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I
what
know.
they did.
COVID must have killed it. I don't know how it possibly went out of business.
I could picture it packed because we were sitting on the patio and you could see the upstairs level and you could just tell that it's designed to hold a lot of people getting
The upstairs is
wasted.
new. I think they just gutted the ceiling as well.
Yeah, so they must have put some restaurant
just
group
set
out
off
there hooks
dynamite and
into
like
it.
whatever's still left, we'll build a bar
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
Now
Awful.
I ordered a margarita to start with, and the woman
They're known
brought
for
back
those.
a small Bacardi bucket with a handle, and the margarita was made in a small bucket. And she goes, "These are only $7." And
That's awesome. Welcome to State College. Man.
I was like, "Oh my god, this college town is here to get people wasted."
Oh,
And then
dude. Well, it was
yeah.
the #1 party town. Back when Maxim Magazine was a big thing, we were the #1 party school. Because there's nothing surrounding it. Penn State's in the middle of nowhere. And it's just
in the middle of nowhere, and the downtown surrounding it is just designed to just house people for the college,
right
with a few businesses peppered in. The campus there, so we had to walk our dogs, and so we start walking on the lawn that's on not Beaver Street, but the other one that it's on, the one that goes. Yeah, I guess.
Did you walk on Old Main Lawn, you son of a bitch?
I think maybe because we went up to the school, then walked on some grassy knoll, and then I went up further, and there was a big giant lawn, and there was all sorts of bros with their volleyball nets set up, and then people playing spike ball. It was so random.
They're still in college,
dude. It was like when you go to the beach in Santa Monica or Venice and you see all the bros hanging out on the side of the beach. They were doing all that same beach stuff, but in the middle of nowhere. Like, I guess it's the college.
Speaking of butt, when we went back, Don, let me say, when we went back, these girls are all, thank you, TikTok, maybe all the asses of all the girls at Penn State are incredible. It was not like that when we went there. Not at all. Rico, back me up. We went back last time. It was just ass after ass after ass. Incredible, tight and toned. That was not a thing before.
It was a hot day.
The same workout regimen on TikTok.
It was a hot day when we were there, and it seemed like every girl was wearing the same uniform, which was a sports bra and like some high-waisted shorts.
Rico's
and it was just
pants. I can see it.
Excuse me, guys. I got to go to the bathroom.
And there would be like 3 of them, 2 of them, 1 of them, one with a backpack. It was just crazy how many. And then Heather and I are like, this is so crazy. How it's just children, these kids everywhere, just all sorts of. You're in this weird You're in like a regular looking
it magic?
city, but
It's like
everybody's
on
like,
Epstein's Island.
everyone's a kid running around. I was like, we're in like some kind of weird mall. That's what it felt like. You're in the mall and there's just
Well,
kids
Don,
everywhere.
this is what
But the
going to
store
college
is knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
man,
this
I
is the
could
best
never.
advertisement for college
Yeah,
this country has heard in 10 years.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I gotta tell
talking
ya.
about student loans causes too much money. And here Don's talking like, hot girls running around in little boy shorts and sports bras. You're like, well, why
even have
wasn't
to go to the
people telling
beach.
me about this?
we walked along a street. I think
He'll
that
hand
was
you hand you buckets of margarita.
Yeah, $7. You're in and out. There was this street, I think it's Beaver Street, where they have some large homes that look like they're housing the
Those
fraternity
are,
bros.
fraternity houses, Don.
Yeah, and so in the front of them, they had a ping pong ball or a ping pong table. They were playing beer pong, I think. But they're playing some beer pong with a smaller ball that they were whacking onto the table first and trying to get like a high bouncing arc shot. Have you guys heard of that? I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Okay,
Bouncing
this is
it?
the
Well, maybe they're just trying
I
to
feel
get
like
the
this-
double cup.
it's the young version. It's the new young version of the beer pong. It's different.
These
We were
kids always
playing beer
find
pong
some
with
way to-
some gentlemen, some enterprising lads when we were there.
Always coming up with a new format.
our fraternity. Phi Kappa Tau.
Capital.
Yep.
Give it a little plug.
Sure.
Give it a little plug. All right, let's move
There you
on.
go.
My wife's got to go to
She's got to go to her book club. It's funny that she always has her dates with her side guy on Thursday night. Interesting.
what can I say? It's her and a bunch of other sluts. So, married, drunk sluts.
Do you think they're doing that scene
MDS.
like old school where Andy Dick is teaching them how to do blowjobs? 'Cause if not, you should hire Andy Dick to do
Oh.
that for them.
I thought I should be the guy doing it. Like I just show
Andy
up.
Dick is showing them how to do a blowjob. If you want to show them how to do a blowjob,
Yeah, but on me. I'm like,
want
I
Andy Dick
to
got
give
my
you a
bananas again.
You have to show them how to
this
suck
guy
the dick. You
teaches-
can't do that.
No,
on yourself.
no.
But he always forgets his bananas, and we just have to suck his dick every time.
You have to get carrots.
He gives you a discount though every time. I'm like, $15 discount this time, ladies.
Actually, why don't I pay you guys? This is great.
You know what? I forgot bananas. I'm going to comp it. If I
Yeah.
forget the banana, it's free.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
Where's
And
my
don't
brain
going?
going?
I'm
Don't
never
forget
going to make
how-
money this way.
Don't forget how I taught you to use your mouth to put the condom on.
You don't need a condom. You don't need a condom for blowjobs. We know that.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You've been to Vegas. You know the law.
That's how the AIDS epidemic got started.
Mhm.
Anyway, getting into the first episode podcast here. We're not here just to talk about. Oh wait, I forgot the Niagara Falls. Let me just tell
Oh,
this
yeah.
real quick. Speaking of semen, so we're at Niagara Falls, and we're staying on the U.S. side. We walk over to the Canada side, and a buddy of ours, we go to a club, and we're like 19. You could drink in Canada at 18. We're drinking at the club. We're doing shots of Sauza, I think tequila, which for whatever reason we were drinking at the time.
It's a Greek liquor. Isn't it?
No, Sauza. No,
Oh,
you're
that's
thinking
Olay
of
there.
Uzo.
Yeah, Uzo. Yeah.
So we're doing shots. Our buddy, I already said his name. I won't say his last name, Nate. He's dancing with a girl on the dance floor. Right? Having a lot of fun. We were like, all right, we're going home. We got to walk across the border. Now it's the middle of winter. I mean, it's freezing cold. And we're walking across the bridge, right? The bridge from Canada to the US, all drunk. And Nate rolls out and he's like, hey guys, guess what? As we're walking across this bridge, and he's behind us all. Or he's the slow one. We turn around and he goes, guess what? That girl jerked me off on the dance floor. And we're like, what? So we turn around and we look at him. And what do we see but a gigantic frozen nut stain on his jeans that is getting icier by the second.
That's hilarious.
I think you give him too much credit to say it was a gigantic nut stain.
Yeah, maybe not gigantic. It was a good 2 inches. 2 inches. Yes, to
Okay.
completion, Corey. To completion. He nutted in his pants And then we're walking home, and I guess he didn't go to the bathroom, although we were like, we're going now. Like, if you're leaving, we're leaving now. So he's walking back, and this nut stain is frozen in his jeans. And we're just looking and laughing because it's literally freezing.
There's
as we're walking back.
Well, there was a great picture, probably lost to the netherworld, where he's like, number one. I thought you got it on the dance floor, but maybe not. Maybe it was back at the hotel.
No, it was
like,
I think
number one,
back.
and he's got the huge the nut stain on his jeans.
Yeah. On the dance floor, we didn't know. He was just up close, shaking it.
Yeah. Man, those are some good old days. Yeah.
Fun, Nate.
You could grind on some chicks, and then she'll do over the clothes stuff on the dance
He
floor.
might have said that she jerked him off. He may have just come in his pants, though.
Yeah, right. He could have just dry humped her.
Yeah, it was.
You know why we believed him, that she somehow reached in his pants on the dance floor,
yeah,
whacking it. Where it's like the more obvious solution is that you were grinding on her and you were a little bitch and you just came in your pants.
That makes more sense. First of all, you don't have a lot of room to get your hand in and out, into some jerking motion in your pants. You need.
Corey asked if we can recall the song that he came to. I wish.
Yeah. What year was it?
It was the time of Who Let the Dogs Out.
Yeah. So it's probably some Little John. Yeah.
Would have been Mambo number 5. That was a big
Mambo number 5 would have been a good one. A little bit of Mardi Gras in your pants. All right. Anyway, moving on. We're talking about The Bondsman, a new Kevin Bacon-led show on, what was it, Netflix?
Amazon.
No, it was on Amazon Prime.
Prime. You gotta be primed and ready to bacon grease. The grease is ready for you. And also Married with Children. That's our other show today. Classic. Which one do you guys want to start with? Married with Children or
start with The Bondsman?
All right. Take us away. Take us away, Rico.
Starts off, Kevin Bacon is a gruff, you're going to be surprised at this, kind of gritty, grimy bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And he is on the job. He shows up at some abandoned motel and he knocks on the door. He's trying to serve the warrant and arrest the guy. And he was duped. What a dumbass.
Idiot.
He pulled out the wrong guy. He's like, wait, what are you doing here? He's like, I got a tip. He's like, the guy's like, yeah, that was from me. Boom. Someone else shoots Kevin Bacon.
No, much worse than that. Oh, wait. Maybe he shoots him first. You're right. Because I'll say the way Kevin Bacon dies is pretty hideous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets shot in the back, which kind of debilitates him.
Right, because he's got a vest on. Yeah, he's got a vest on. Yeah.
But then the other guy comes up behind him I think that was the guy he was looking for. And he just goes and he goes.
I mean, very graphically
Colombian necktie.
Neck open. Yeah, the Colombian necktie. Well, you got to pull the tongue out if you're doing the necktie.
Colombian.
I'm not very experienced in it, so
can't just throw these things out there, man. You gotta know what you're talking about.
The ethnic epitaph game is off.
Need some work. So Kevin's dead, and you're like, oh, okay, he's dead. And then I liked this. He wakes up because they hide the body. Kevin Bacon wakes up after being killed. He's bleeding out. It's graphic. He's like his neck's wide open, gushing blood.
Definitely dead.
Definitely dead. And favorite game to play in Mexico, Sleeping or Dead. Harder than you'd think. Harder than you'd think. So he wakes up, and I like this scene, in the walls.
Yep.
They shoved him in the wall. He wakes up like, what the fuck? Like he can't move. He worms his way out. And then starts beating up, I guess, the owner of the motel.
So I kind of fast forwarded it again real quick an hour ago to just remember if I forgot anything. So like you said, he's like in the drywall where they stuffed the body, and then he breaks out of it and he attacks this kid who's sent there to burn this abandoned motel for the
that was why.
money.
Okay, I thought he was but for insurance, but I thought that's why. I thought he owned the motel.
The owner paid him to do it.
Paid him. Got it.
But I didn't realize it on the first watching. On the second watching, I'm like, wait a minute. Why did they go through all this effort of putting him in the wall and drywalling him over to burn it down
for the insurance money.
With the insurance, like, oh, he was in the wall before this burned down. You'd have to be a hell of an investigator.
I mean, yeah, you probably find the skeleton of the man inside the wall and be like, we're not going to pay this out. This seems, it seems
Yeah.
suspicious.
Plus, there's gasoline everywhere.
Everywhere.
And also, how much was the insurance payout on this abandoned piece of shit motel in the middle of nowhere?
$6 million.
Here's your $100,
I mean,
sir.
look, if you've watched, there used to be a show on, and I hope it's still on, called Snapped. Sandy and I, my wife Sandy and I, we used to watch the show on Oxygen Network, hungover, and it was great because all there was people killing their spouses. Always women killing men. It was always the women snapping.
One of those like true crime deals.
Yeah, it's true crime, but the title is misleading because they weren't really snapping. They just wanted $20,000. Like they're like, she took out. And it's one of those shows too, which like it had 15 commercials, and every time you come back from the commercial, it would rehash what they already talked about for the last 30 minutes.
Man, some shows have way too many commercials.
Oh, it's got so she took out a life insurance policy on her husband for $24,000, and she was going to collect, like, it's literally that amount of money, and it's like they put 2 bullets in him for 24 grand. So
she
was
was
Bondsman's defense.
It wasn't about the money for 24 grand.
It is.
Didn't want to look greedy. She did not.
It is about the money. These people are terrible. These people are trash. So yeah, right. so he gets this kid who's going to burn it down. He chucks him in the trunk, and Kevin Bacon, he's like, "How am I alive?" You know, he's like, his throat's he duct tapes his throat up, and he can't figure out how he's alive, how he's breathing.
Funny.
Yeah, thank you.
The smoke comes out of his giant gaping wound in his throat that he
like in Beetlejuice.
Figure out how he's breathing.
Yeah, like the chicken Beetlejuice.
And he takes some.
And by the way,
duct
thank
tape
God
that he
smoking
finds.
Is cool again. Thank you, Trump. You can smoke TV shows again.
Make America smoke
your vote.
Again.
Make America smoke again.
Yeah, what happened when you're with your family? You go to the Sizzler and the waitress or the hostess says, "Smoking or non-smoking?" We want.
Don't get wrong. I don't want to bring back smoking in restaurants, and I also don't want to bring back smoking in bars.
Yeah.
But I do believe it's the owner's right to decide. I don't want it because it sucks. But say right.
All right.
So anyway, he's
Smoker's
healing.
Rights. Yeah, he is healing.
He's healing up. It's a magic thing, and he's like, "What's going on? I'm alive. Let me go back to my white trash mom's house.
Tell her I lost her truck."
Yeah, and they're very white trash. It's hilarious. His office is in like what, an abandoned garage or like an old garage.
Yeah. Like a mechanic garage.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bounty hunter. He doesn't really need a fancy conference room.
He doesn't need a penthouse on San Monica Boulevard.
Right. Why do you even need a garage? You're a bounty hunter.
His clientele aren't really coming by.
You just need a phone?
Well, I guess he has different gear.
Well, I guess you want to chuck the people you catch.
And it's probably just a garage that he used that was on the property that he converted.
And where's he going to keep his junkyard dog? I imagine he has one.
Jesus, didn't mean to trigger you guys.
No,
I mean, don't call out this plot for not having logic.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Kevin Bacon.
That's the only part Brian doesn't believe is that his office.
He's a magic man, and he heals up. So
yeah.
But he keeps getting calls. I like this part. He keeps getting calls. He's healing up. He doesn't know what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
And he gets these calls, right?
Calls from a company called Pot of Luck or Pot of Gold or something. And they keep telling him, thank you for joining the Pot of Gold family. Like, please make an appointment with your regional supervisor.
Yeah.
And he just keeps ignoring it for the every time he hears it, usually when he's in his office and the phone rings, then he goes to his mom's house. I think he hears another message for him there.
Yeah, it's like everything he owns. Everything. There's a scene where he gets every phone he owns, every phone that he's taken from.
There's a lot of phones, though.
I think maybe they put
he's taken it from the people he arrested. So all those phones were. So anyway, they're trying to reach him is the point. So next, who wants to take the next point here? We'll try to go faster here. It's already 25 minutes in. I got to cut this.
Well, he goes to this bar. that his ex-wife, I guess, is singing at, but it was
Who is
like
unattractive.
he has a suspicion of who hired
Yeah.
these guys to kill him, and it
He-
was Dickie Crowder from Justified. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, love Ducky Crowder, love Justified. Good seeing
Yeah.
him working. His name's Lucky in this one. Skinny little
Yeah.
turd of a man.
He finds out from his mom that guy's the one who like bailed out the brothers who killed him. That's
Yes.
how he gets wind of that
And
guy.
so there's a scene where Lucky is like, "What the? How are you alive?" And then his wife walks in, and then his son, because his wife is banging Lucky now,
Lucky.
apparently.
Yeah.
And
she's
his
guy
a
that
son
tried to
is
kill
working
him.
at the bar, so he's like, "Oh,
Stars
I can't
born.
shoot this guy dead now."
Right.
So,
Which for some reason he wants him dead. I guess we'll find out more about
well,
that.
probably because he hired people to kill him. That would be a good
Yep.
motivation.
That would be.
I don't know if
that'd be
it's
one.
too deep. That seems.
I like that it's
Yeah.
not too deep a show, to be honest.
No.
So anyway, fast forwarding, Kevin Bacon. So he figures out, okay, I'm healing up. This is weird. He goes and gets the brothers that took him out. Right? He's he puts them to death, and
Not really. He's there, and then this priest shows up who you met earlier.
the priest with the creepy eyes. Yeah,
The
skipping over the
priest
creepy
turns
eye
out to
priest.
be like this demon, and he goes crazy on the brothers. I think they're dead, and then somehow Kevin Bacon gets out of there.
Well, Bacon
returns-
tied him up, didn't he? Right?
I don't know.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a hostage when he first goes to that house, and so he ties up one guy, and then he's got the brothers at gunpoint, and that's when they go, someone's knocking at the door. Who is it? It's a priest. And then he goes, all right, you answer the door and get rid of him, right? Because they don't know that the priest is a demon at that point.
Yeah.
But the priest goes in, and then he starts killing everybody in there. And then Bacon does somehow escape that scene.
This is what was odd about the show, right? So Kevin Bacon gets brought back, and you find out later that through this chubby Asian pot of gold manager who sucks. Worst character in the show. Terrible. Just sucks.
Yeah.
So he eventually gets told, oh, you're working, the devil brought you back and you're working for the devil to kill. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me, to kill these people, but he's killing demons.
No.
Am I
watch
fucking
the
this up?
show? So that his handler is this
I wrote
Asian
notes
woman.
down.
Well, the handler is this Asian woman, and she explains, hey, you're working for the devil now. Demons escape from hell, and they're possessing these people, and you're going to basically be a bounty hunter for these demons, and we're going to give you a name, and you're going to go get them, and the first time you fuck up, your job's over, and you're going back to hell.
Right. Yeah.
And the question is like, because she tells him, well, you were sentenced to hell for the things you've done or the thing that you did. And you're like, what did he do? And maybe the show will get into that a little bit. Maybe some flashback scenes.
Yeah, because Kevin Bacon, he's a bad hombre in this one.
I guess so.
A bad muchacho.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the show. It's funny. Unlike Rico, I didn't have time today. I should have. I watched this show a month ago. Is it showing? Is it showing?
A little bit. Well, the other show that we get into after.
Is your son naked behind you?
Yeah, now he's just showing his chest to the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's ready to bro out over at the
So yeah,
over
I watched
at
it a month
the
ago.
college lawn.
I would have watched it again today, but I just didn't have time. I mean, I like the show overall. Like I like shows that are goofy. I like the like the old X-Files before they got into Mulder's sister all the time. I liked Supernatural as a show before it got into all about angels and demons nonstop. I like Monster of the Week shows. They're entertaining. If this is going to be a Monster of the Week show, I'm in. I'll watch it. I ended this. Most shows we watch, I'm like, not watching that again, or I've already seen them. This show, I'm like, I would in fact keep watching this. I have not because I haven't had time, but I would keep watching it.
Yeah.
I'll flick it on as a whatever show.
I thought the same. It wasn't amazing, but it was also quick. It was 30 minutes. I
30
saw
minutes.
like the next episode is like 24 minutes. Like, thank you. Why are you making these long ass shows that just get boring and boring? Just get to the point. So I enjoyed it. It may fizzle out, but the premiere was entertaining enough for me to watch a second episode, maybe on the plane tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do the same. Rico, can you tilt your picture down so we're not just seeing the top? There you go. I don't know what's worse.
I'm like the fat guy in South
Earthworm
Park.
Jim. Earthworm Jim every time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you give it as a grade?
I'll give it a B minus. Nothing groundbreaking or sensational, but enjoyable. Gotta like Kevin Bacon. Holds up well, by the way.
He does hold up well.
Yeah,
Bill Bacon.
and
Yeah,
He's
he
married,
does.
He married Kira Sidgwick. Sedgwick. She sucks.
got to be very insecure.
Ugh, she sucks. Yeah, she should be insecure. God,
Kevin
awful.
Bacon, bitch. Better recognize.
Yeah, he's an American legend, a treasure.
Maybe Kira Sedgwick's amazing in person. I don't know. Maybe she's
Yeah.
got a great sense of humor.
Like us.
John, what do you think?
I'm thinking it's a B. I did like it, and it is something I would definitely watch.
Watch the
again.
entire season yet?
I have not. No, I only watched the first one, but I have
Don
been.
he had to finish up every other show that we said sucked shit, but Don was like, I'm just going to watch it to
He's
watch
like,
it
"I like
before he
that
got back
show."
to shows we actually enjoy.
It could backfire though. I mean, if the second episode could be really lame, like Brian was saying, the monster of the week, and if it just becomes like a Scooby-Doo kind of chase where he's just hunting some different demon down, it could just become like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something kind of boring. But I'm down to watch some more. But hopefully it gets better, like in the story develops. I want to learn more about the devil and how he brought him back. And
I'm sure you will.
what other
But the problem
deals
is
he's
that
got.
you're gonna have a chunky Asian telling you the whole thing who sucks.
Dude, why can't you get a
There
hot
was a
Asian? Why is the devil
Yeah.
walking around with ugly
Oh,
Asian?
yeah,
because
the devil would not-
body positivity.
no.
And-
I know the devil, and the devil would not
Dude.
associate with you,
No
man.
way. He
Uh-uh.
would have a
how do you say
smoking
fat in
hot-
hell? It's hot.
She
Sweat
would
it
be
off.
wearing
Prime,
like,
what's her name?
red
Lucy Liu or-
leather. Like I work for
God, her
I
character
work for
sucks.
the
Pissed me
devil, and
off.
she looks like she works for the the
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you work for one thing. Yeah, and
it
it's
looks
and
like
it's
a child
Chinese
protective
buffet lady.
Chinese protective food services.
And I love Chinese buffets. I'm not shitting on Chinese buffets.
Oh yeah, that's
Just
true.
this woman.
But
All right.
So that's
I
it.
also
I
give
give
it
it
a solid B. I'll see where it goes, but Kevin Bacon, entertaining. It was fine. Moved fast, gore. Let's see what happens with it. But yeah, B for the first episode. But like we were saying before, like, all right, it established who everybody was cleanly. The motivations cleanly. Got it. Good. Let's see what happens.
very good.
Boom. There we go.
All right. Next.
Moving on.
Love and marriage.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh,
That is- this is a classic.
marriage.
That's
Uh,
right. I thought you guys would pick up on that a little bit earlier.
I didn't want to sing.
That
It's
was
so
the
good.
Frank Sinatra song that it opened to. That
course.
I
you would
mean,
hear that as a kid, and you would run to the TV and be like, "Oh,
yes,
Children
right?
is
It's so
on.
iconic. It's such an incredible opening. That love and marriage, like you're like,
And-
oh my god! And the montage they had with it was spot on.
it shows
Opening
the
to
cast.
Married with Children. We're talking about here, guys. Married with Children opens up with Sinatra's Love and Marriage. It's amazing. It's
The
Al
scene where he's
Bundy.
sitting on the couch and he's handing everyone money over his back while they're going out of the house, and
the dog,
sucking
the
him
dog
dry.
at the end.
fuck, you rascal.
Oh, it's so great, man. You know what I meant to look up is Ed O'Neill, because I didn't know, I've never heard of Ed O'Neill before Married with Children.
Neither.
And I was curious to
no.
see if he had done anything before that, because he was so, I mean, talk about iconic in that role
He
and
doesn't-
so perfectly
Yeah.
cast.
He doesn't
So
look
his
like a
comedic
guy
timing-
who was going to do,
romantic leads.
Yeah, romantic leads or Arnold Schwarzenegger type parts in movies. So he found his lane and he stayed in it and he did a great job.
Okay, so he was in a Red Lobster commercial.
That was the last time he had dinner.
No, seriously. He was supposed to be cast as Detective Popeye Doyle for a TV series that had appeared.
They went with
French...
Gene Hackman instead. Wow.
Well, it was in The French Connection, played by Gene
Doyle.
Hackman. And then he got, let's see, he was in a stage production of Mice and Men, and then got cast in Married with Children. That was it.
There you go.
I mean, it was literally he came out of nowhere. Like, he had a professional football career, played for the Stillers. Again, screw the Permanente brothers. Incredible. And we thought for a while that Ed O'Neill, I think this is debunked. The Ed O'Neill that we thought went to Penn State is a different person, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we can keep saying it until people correct us. Like,
why not?
Oh, fuck. I forgot to wear my Polk Eye shirt for this show.
Oh, yes.
But I won. I should take that to Vegas. Chicks will be all over that reference.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All the young ladies know the Polk Eyes. So, Married with Children, one of the best opening songs, one of the best opening montages.
That's
and
right.
the show just, I mean.
The show ran for 11 seasons.
It was at one point the longest running sitcom, and then The Simpsons overtook it. But it was at one point the longest running sitcom, American sitcom.
And it was good. It was great until like the last season. The last season was kind of like, eh. I think it ended well, though, if I recall. I was an avid fan, and I remember being in like grade school, and I couldn't wait because it was on Sunday night, I think. I would get to school on like Monday, be like, you guys see Married with Children yesterday? And they'd always have like a funny line that the kids remember. And you're like, a fat woman walked into the shoe store.
Die, commie bimbo.
Yeah, that was a funny one to start
Great
with.
Great line. First, like starting off. I think it starts great, right?
Yeah.
Al's not home yet. You got
Peg.
God, what's her name? I already blanked on it.
Peg or Kelly?
Peg Bundy is home, and the kids are home, and Kelly's on the couch, and Bud Bundy, one of the funnier names. And by the way, the guy that played Bud Bundy, very nice guy. Met him. Came to a charity event.
Grandmaster B.
Yep. He comes up behind her. Bud Bundy, such a funny name, comes up and pretends to cut her throat. And Kelly, who, by the way, got a million times hotter over the course of this show.
She did. Yes.
I mean,
well,
yeah.
Like 4 years into the show was one of the hottest women of all time.
Right? Like, she started off with, maybe they meant to make her more approachable. Christina Applegate. It was honestly, when it started, I was like, oh, they must have had a less hot chick play Kelly to start the show. And I was like, oh, no. She is Christina
bad
Applegate.
Haircut. She wore like
baggy clothes.
Bad haircut,
like,
wait a minute, this girl is so hot. But it was the same character, even in the first episode, she was all slutty. She was going out with a guy with a sore on his mouth. Yeah. But not that kind of sore, Daddy. He just fell asleep smoking a cigarette.
There was God, that was the line I was laughing at. Sandy was walking through, was watching it, laughing at that line. So funny. Oh, you mean this is Al Bundy? Cobra with a sore on his mouth. We're getting ahead of ourselves, though. So, Married with Children, Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill, shoe salesman at a mall. The most, I mean, honestly, if anybody that works, you can really feel the character of Al Bundy. Like, the most understandable,
doesn't even
relatable
anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Even shoe stores are few.
No, they're still out there.
They just have the shoes on the rack. Well, I guess I don't go to the most fancy
Rico,
place.
if shoe stores don't exist anymore,
no, I'm saying
thousands of black security guards would be out of business.
Like most of the, well, of course, I don't go to women's.
That was a great show.
Often, most of the places have like the shoes just like in the box right there, and you can see, okay, you try them on yourself. So his job has been downsized.
Well, I think you underestimate how many people still go in and actually like go in. Hey, get shoes, try them on this way, that way, fits this and that. The amount of people that line up to buy shoes. I was just giving a buddy of mine shit, and it Drew, who you know, of course, from beer pong, in our private lives. He has a room of shoes. These people,
I've heard of that. Like
need a shoe
sneaker
concierge.
heads.
Al
Yeah,
Bundy was
they
the
love
original shoe
sneakers.
concierge. Yeah, they love sneakers.
But this
They love
guy's
waiting in
buying
line for
like,
sneakers.
yeah, he likes buying limited edition Nike shoes. He's not like a fat woman going to buy shoes.
I'm a size 4.
Yeah,
I
like
guarantee you, if Rico
Yeah.
go down the street to your local Payless and ask them if they should, what
That's
they
so
do.
more
Last I was in
Payless.
LA.
You could go
I
to
think they went out of
places like
business.
in the Nordstrom or the Macy's area where they sell shoes, and then there'll be a guy who goes, "Hey, can I help you?" And you go, "Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can I see these
All
in a
right, I
size
stand
10?"
corrected. My
Rico's always
apologies.
like,
for all you
look,
shoe
I don't go to
salesmen.
them
I
because
mean, they
have
used to.
freak
I don't know if
feet.
they still do.
Yeah, I have size 14s, and I go, what is in 14? And they bring me 3 pairs of shoes, and I go, that one.
They go, "Here you go, ogre. Do you have these
And I go,
shoes for
anybody
you?"
want a peanut?
Yeah.
And then I leave.
Like,
So anyway, Ed
do
O'Neill,
they,
great
do they
shoe
shave
salesman.
your size 14 foot before they try to fit a shoe over
God,
it?
I wish.
You behemoth.
So Peg
See, that's what Al Bundy
Bundy,
would say.
his wife, and she's God, what's her name? I should have looked up. Actually, I
Peg.
have all these in front of me.
Oh,
Well, it's Peg, but it's Katie Seagal, who went on
yeah.
to better voice Leela in Futurama. Ed
Right.
O'Neill's Al Bundy.
you
David
know what's the crazy
Faustino.
thing about
Bud.
Peggy is, and there was a comment about this. I was already thinking about it anyways. She was so much hotter in Sons of Anarchy than she was in, and obviously they're making her look ridiculous with her hair and her outfits and everything. But that's always what I saw her as. And then she was in Sons of Anarchy, and it's 20 years later. I'm like, wow,
She
not
may
that
have
bad
had a
looking.
tit job too. I thought Peggy Bundy, she was still pretty hot.
Yeah,
You know, her face isn't great, but it's hot enough. And she just had something about her. Like even during watching this episode, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm still into Peg. I'm still
Yeah.
into Peg.
Al married
love
her
it.
for a reason. He likes her.
Yeah.
She must have looked hot at one point.
She's
She
like
must have-
just such a great
before she started wearing her hair like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Up to the huge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you got Peggy, they had 2 kids. And the show, though, the dynamic of the show with the one-liners is fantastic. Like, and the setup for the first episode is great too. So you've got Peg and Al going at it. The kids are out, right? Bud goes out. Kelly's, I think, home, but upstairs. There's a great line where they're going back and forth as a married couple, married for 15 years, giving each other shit. And Al wants juice. And he goes to the refrigerator and he's like, where's the juice? Like, oh, I don't have it. I forgot. He's like, oh, well, God forbid. And this is back when the man worked most of the time, the woman doesn't. God forbid you go out and buy juice all day. You know, ask you to do one thing. God forbid you go to the fucking store. And what I loved is at one point, this might have not been a direct response, but Peg Bundy goes, you know, oh, by the way, Bud Bundy, Bud, our son, he's got a what does daddy do day at school today? So while you're looking in the refrigerator, if there's no beer in there or remote control, it's because he took him to school. I laughed my ass off. Such a great line.
The other part,
and then Al goes, well, make sure he brings them back.
Yeah,
Some bulls later.
The other thing, when Al first goes downstairs, he has his hand bandaged up, and he goes, "Peg, did you put the cactus where the alarm clock used to be?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, I must have forgot." So then he slaps his hand with the cactus. Oh, that's so good. It's great insult humor. If you like,
it is
just good insults that are just funny. This is the show for you.
And look, you had Al Bundy being a funny, mean, crotchety dick, which is great, right? Yeah, and that archetype, that character archetype, went out of style. Where like now all the dads in these modern shows are like, oh, they're so nice, like, oh, understanding and sweet and nice and funny, great.
I only want what's
That's not-
best for you, son.
Yeah, and like, oh, so understanding and so empathetic.
Yeah.
Like Al Bundy was not.
Nobody's
He
like
was
that.
he was straight up like, fuck this. I work all
Fake
day. I don't do this
news.
bullshit. It
That's
was
how
funny.
dads are.
And look, Peg Bundy, I swear to God, it drives me nuts when women or feminist men who are trying to get laid are like, there's no strong women characters. And like, we need to have heroines. Peg Bundy is as strong a female character as you're going to find. She doesn't work. She's not a girl boss, but she undermines her man at all times. She talks shit. She
Belittles him constantly.
Belittles him constantly. There's a great
Remember,
scene
she's
where
like,
Al wants to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when she's on the couch, she's smoking.
Yes, exactly.
She's smoking, eating like chips, watching TV, and then she hears Al come home and she puts out the cigarette, turns off the TV and like pretends she's vacuuming.
Turns on the vacuum cleaner, vacuums up her own cigarette butts and candy wrappers, and then he comes in and she's like, "Oh, keep the house clean." And then Al hilariously, he's like, "Oh yeah." And he goes up, and then she turns the TV off too. She's watching soap operas or whatever.
Right.
Al goes up and puts his hand on the TV, and he goes, "Oh, the TV's sweating for working as hard too."
It's still warm.
It's just they were portrayed in this show in different ways, but they are portrayed as equals intellectually, each in their own domain, right? And they operate their own domain hilariously and well. And it's like, it's ridiculous to pretend that there weren't strong female characters. Peg Bundy is one of the originally hilarious strong female characters in a sitcom.
To that point, the best scene in the show, I think, is when the neighbors, Steve and Marcy Rhodes, come over. But before that,
original Steve.
Well, no, he was never replaced. He was replaced by Jefferson Darcy.
Yeah, she just remarries.
I forgot she remarried.
Yes. The Playboy Jefferson, who was amazing, just brought a whole new level to the show. But anyways, so the whole
him and Al would get into antics. It was always good.
The No Ma'am.
Oh, No Ma'am.
Stood for?
Yeah. No Ma'am. Something. The National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood. Yeah.
My martini shaker.
No, ma'am.
So the scene was Al is forced to meet the new neighbors because they don't have any friends because they're assholes. Mm-hmm. But he had a free courtside ticket to the Chicago Bulls game, and he's like, "I'm going." And they have a battle of wills, and she wins the battle of wills, and
she
so he has to stay and meet the
by
neighbors.
threatening him that she's going to go on a shopping spree while he's out.
Yeah. But the funniest part is, so Marcy and Steve come over, and they're basically Steve's this big fucking douche who's whipped as all hell and doesn't like sports anymore and just wants to be in touch with his feelings, and Al basically is the devil on his shoulder. Stirring up, she's like, "Oh, you don't watch sports anymore. What the fuck's wrong with you?"
The ladies go to the kitchen to talk, and then Al's got him all alone.
And then Peggy is also the devil on Marcy's shoulder. Like, I bet he used to go to bed at the same time as you. Now he stays up late, huh? Yeah, and so they're just stirring up shit.
Yeah,
and they know they are, and then they see the Rhodes get into a fight, and they're laughing their ass off. They couldn't be happy because this couple they just met, who was in a happy marriage, they couldn't be happier to cause them to get into a spat. And that's kind of
to be as miserable as they are.
Yeah, laughing about it, as miserable as they are, laughing at it. But not only does it make them happy, but it makes them horny. That's what I love too. Al, Peg always wants to bang, and that comes around later in the show all the time. And Al's always like, "Oh, I don't know, Peg." At the end of it, because they've screwed this newly married couple up and wrecked their lives to get them into a couple fighting mode, Al's all randy to bang, which I thought was hilarious. But by the way, to go back to when they're messing with the married couple, and there's a few lines I want to go back to too. But one of my favorites was Al's like, "Well, let me tell you, women always ask you, what are you thinking?" And I'm like, if I wanted you to know what I was thinking, I'd be talking. I was laughing at that. And they brought that back later because Steve, the freshly married newlywed, starts to say it to Marcy.
Mm-hmm.
There was
the
a
other
bunch
funny
of quick,
thing,
like insults that Al and Peg were giving each other. I remember she said, "Yeah, you can what he loses, the hair he loses on his head, he makes up for growing in his nose." And he was
Right.
like, "I can't tell where her chest ends and her belly begins."
Well, they had a great line. So Al Bundy's known for having his hand down his pants and watching TV, right? That's the classic. And this is something, I don't know, for our younger viewers, if you haven't watched Married with Children, this was an iconic thing of like malehood. You sit and you watch TV, leaning back, watching sports with a beer in your left hand and your ball sack in your right hand.
Scratching away.
Scratching away. And I love, there's a great line though, because Peg's like, all you do is sit there and have your hand down your pants. And Al goes, you keep it cold in this house, Peg. Like he's just got to keep his ball sack warm. I don't know if you guys got that live, but I was like, oh
I
my
did
God.
not.
So funny. Also, did you guys notice? So Al Bundy, he works at this shoe store, and apparently one of his coworkers is this debonair man wearing a suit with like a scarf, his hair coiffed Donald Trump style. And he's the lady killer. He bangs all these ladies he meets in the shoe store, including this like supermodel looking chick who comes in. Ridiculous. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Al Bundy's like, don't you get tired of banging every girl you meet? And he's like, no.
No, I don't.
I don't. But then also, the worst pickup line is like, your instep is that of a supermodel or a Hollywood star. And the girl's like, oh. But did you notice that
he worked in the 80s.
Lothario was a balding man with a comb over?
I didn't. I was off put because I just remember Griff as his sidekick.
You're like, when's Griff show up?
Yeah, I like Griff. And then, you get Officer Dan patrolling the mall, becomes into No Man, and then Bob Rooney, who at one point in the one episode gets lost in a wall. It was great collection of characters. Yeah, yes. It's all cyclical.
It's all interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the point I was going to make is that at the time in the mid 80s, you could have a man that was balding, be a Lothario.
Hooking up with chicks.
Bring back those halcyon days.
Well, why don't you grow a comb over? See what happens.
Yeah.
If I could, I would. I'm beyond that. Look at this. There's no way.
Can you get hair plug comb over? Like, no one has ever asked for that before, sir.
Yeah, I'm just like
it's on the house. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I can only afford half of a head.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this. So Al's hanging out, talking to Steve, the newly married husband, and he's puts his arm up on the couch and he's got giant pit stains. Now they made a joke about pit stains earlier, but he had giant, wet, clearly like fresh, wet pit stains. And look, if you're an actor, they're filming this probably in front of a live audience. The lights are hot. Usually what they do with these shows for behind the scenes info is they swap shirts out. They'll swap them out so you don't have pit stains. I think they either the producer, director, whoever it was, or maybe Ed O'Neill had the sweat pit stains. It was like, nope,
leave them. Leave it
perfect
in.
fit. And it was because I noticed them. That he's going to talk to this guy. And he's got this giant wet pit stain on his shirt. And I was like, that's intentional.
Nothing says hard work like pit stains after a day in the women's shoe store.
Yeah, that means he's prying them shoes on and off.
$2 it gets.
Those hooves.
It was just so perfect. It was so perfect. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed here.
There's one thing that's funny when they roads are over and Peggy goes, I'll make coffee. And so she's making coffee with just tons of spoons of ground coffee, instant tap water.
Yeah, I love
cold tap water. And she goes, you don't want to make things too good at home because otherwise he won't take you out. And then
it works at the end of the episode. He's like, hey, Peg, let's go out on. And he's drinking the
Yeah.
coffee. And he's like, hey,
Yeah.
Saturday, this restaurant.
Why don't we go out somewhere? That restaurant we like.
You know what? I just realized. I think that she gave him the one cup of coffee that was warm. Because she had a pitcher, right?
Well,
Oh,
she
no,
was gonna.
She gave him the one that was, sorry, no. She gave him the cup of coffee from the tap.
Yeah, she gives him the one, and
Yeah.
then Marcy goes, "Oh, you're making coffee very weird or something like that." She goes, "Don't
Yeah,
worry,
yeah.
ours will be good."
Don't make it while at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And
she's
then
gonna
on the way
make
up the,
them a
sorry, on the way
nice
up the
cup.
stairs, he's like, and also that coffee was pretty good tonight. So she's made it worse than that before with cold tap water.
He's used to it. He likes it. He thinks it's
Yeah,
good.
and Folgers original grains.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's probably not even freeze dry instant. It's just nasty ass Folgers grains.
Oh, it looked disgusting.
Oh,
it was amazing. The whole
Al
show
Bundy.
was amazing.
Yeah,
The
Lot of stuff.
casting is so perfect on that show, and it becomes more perfect as they round the characters out because Bud Bundy's such a little annoying shit turd, and he
Mhm.
just grows into a vastly annoying shit turd with the perfect cast.
And
Kelly
also
becomes even sluttier and hotter. Good.
Bud's character is just making fun of calling his sister a slut. That's the best thing about him. Is all he does is make fun of her for being a loose woman.
Oh, and I like how he hits the dad up too for like money.
And also that
you have to earn
he's
your
always,
money, and he's like, "All right, I'll earn it." Guess who
Yeah.
Kelly was seeing today? A guy named Cobra, and he's like, "Okay." And guess what? He gives up 5. He's like, "Hey, guess what else? He has a sore in his mouth." He's like, "All right, here's another $5."
There you go. They also make fun of Bud because he'd always be jacking off too. That was
the joke in the show is that like Kelly would always make fun of him for never like getting laid and just being like a jerk off dude. But if you watch that show, he runs through the hottest tale. Like every third episode, he's got a supermodel coming out of the basement. I'm like, God, for a guy who is really terrible.
Yeah, that's David Faustino.
Quite well.
He's
and I think he was like that in real life. I think I've seen a behind the music with the thing. He's like, yeah.
Behind the panties.
Yeah.
Like I said, Faustino, very nice guy. Came to a charity
should be. Life has treated him well, and I hope it's still treating him well.
Yeah,
I hope so too. He deserves it. Because honestly, that's a role, though, also. That's it for him. Right?
No,
like,
he was in this amazing movie that we saw. We used to watch all the time in college. I can't remember what it was. It was like they would order.
He was in that one movie we watched 25 years ago. Wow.
Fuck,
You're right, Rico. He really did buck the
dude.
trend.
We watched it like 50 times.
It really made an impression on you.
Yeah. Well, my point is, once you have that role, like you're Faustino, you're Bud Bundy.
Oh yeah,
it's
every child actor.
Christina Applegate, you're super gorgeous. You could go on and do other things. Bud Bundy, you're a 5 foot tall, not that good looking guy who played this super chud for 11 years, instantly recognizable. Good luck.
Killer Bud. That's the name of the movie. Boom.
Never heard
fantastic.
of it.
I've never seen that movie.
Never heard of it. All right.
Never seen it. Never heard of it.
All
right. I give Married with Children A+.
Ooh, A+. I give it an A. I mean, for sure, it's in the A realm. It's perfect. It's a great show. 11 seasons. First aired on 1987.
We're just judging the first episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, A+.
I'd watch it.
If I graded the whole series, it would be like Ralphie and Christmas Story A+++. I love this show. First out, I don't know that I've watched season 1 in 25 years or whatever.
I've never seen the first episode of my life.
I don't know if I have either, but it was awesome from the get-go. So kudos, Married with Children.
Yep. Hilarious. It was like
I start watching it again now.
There's very few, especially pilots, I laughed out loud multiple times. And this show, and maybe also I probably appreciate it more now as a man who is married and has children than I did before, but it's still hilarious regardless.
And also seeing how shows have become so shitty.
Yeah.
And it takes you back to
this was the golden age of TV. Like late 80s Fox, they had like all the edgy shows because they're like, no one thinks of us as a real network anyway, so let's just fucking go for it. And
We got this and The Simpsons and X-Files.
You're exactly right there, Rico. Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. They leaned into like, fuck it, this show's great, and it is great. Amazing show. I have nothing else to say. So wait, I have a suggestion though for next week. There is a show that
I already know.
It's a show.
It's like the number one downloaded show on streaming right now called Ransom Canyon.
What streaming platform is it being downloaded on?
I believe it's Netflix.
Ransom Canyon.
Yeah. And it is going to be some real annoying, lady-centric I don't know.
Josh Duhamel.
Cowboy?
Kelly. Why do I know that name?
Cow Rom?
Oh, like a Western love thing. Okay.
I think it's going to be a Western romance. Not like Hey Dude, which I think we could not find because that'd be a great pairing. Hey Dude.
No, we couldn't. It was. We could. We haven't done Modern Family yet, have we? Because that is another Ed O'Neill. And that's
all right, Netflix. We're doing it. We're watching Ransom Canyon. It's the most popular show right now.
Ooh,
terrible.
Well, open your heart, Rico.
Well, I mean, that's what we have to do. We can't always watch good shows.
That's it. Yeah. They're not all good. They're not all Married with Children.
Yeah.
And Kevin Bacon.
It's got Oin Mackin in it.
Oin? It's the name of a dwarf, I think.
I don't know. Eoin?
Aeiou.
Oin?
Tatanka.
Oh, it's got a Tatanka in it. It's got an Oin and a Tatanka. What have we been waiting for?
I never was a big Tatanka fan in the WWF, but maybe he's better in this.
We're watching Ransom Canyon for our new show.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you want to do for our old show?
I don't care. Whatever.
Don,
yeah, I was thinking
you wanted to watch before.
I know we said Modern Family, but let's do like a cheesy show again.
Yeah, Modern
like
Family.
A cheesy 80s show. Is there any of those?
Don was stumping for an old show. Hold on. I have the list right here. And also our listeners, viewers can suggest these. I think you were stumping for either Life Goes On, Martin.
Martin.
Oh, we thought good one. Get a Life with Chris Elliott.
Have we reviewed any black shows yet? I feel like we're being racist.
We did Family Matters.
Oh, that's right.
And we did Hanging with Mr. Cooper, did we not?
Oh, all right. Well, touche.
Yeah, we did. So maybe we should do Martin.
I wouldn't call Martin a black show. I watched every episode of it.
Yeah, I like.
Well, Martin. I mean, it's all black characters. White people liked it too. I also watched.
Yeah, I would call it a black show.
I don't know that it's on anything we can watch.
Let's do Ransom Canyon.
Oh, it's on Netflix as well.
How about that?
My kid's crying outside the door. All right, let's wrap it. That's it. Ransom Canyon and Martin.
There you go. We'll see you people in 1 week.
If we're still alive.
Well, we'll see. From me, from the first episode podcast. Good point, Corey. We'll do Mobland later. There's a bunch of
those are on
Paramount Plus.
I don't have that.
Well, viewers, go make some money on OnlyFans.
It was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!